thanks for joining us on this virtual field trip. Sean, I know I had a lot of fun finding all the various wildlife out in the wetland, watching the ducks and the dragonflies, and boy, getting in the water and finding those macroinvertebrates, that was a lot of fun. When we do field trips here, we often gather in a circle and we like to share our rose and thorn. So your rose is kind of what was the highlight for you during the field trip, and your thorn is maybe something that wasn't so great. So Sean, do you have a rose and thorn you'd like to share?
Definitely. Well, I really enjoy being quiet and sitting in a nice shady spot and when I'm at the ELC or anywhere in nature. And so the listening station was absolutely was my rose. You know, I guess also I like getting in the water too and dip netting, and that was super fun. But I would have to say, if I had to pick a thorn, it was because we couldn't find the dragonfly larvae.
Dragonfly nymph.
Yeah, nymph, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I guess my rose was definitely getting in the water. I was telling the videographer, I have always wanted to get in the water here and I've never had waders. So I borrowed some waders and it was so fun getting in the water and dipping in places that I'd always wanted to put the dip net and finding all those creatures. I guess my thorn was, yeah, we didn't find the dragonfly nymph that I was really hoping to show you. And I didn't find any fish for you because in previous times when I've done the dip net, we've been able to find little baby fish, and I kind of wanted you to see that. So you just have to trust me that we do have fish in our wetland. All right, so did you guys happen to find all of those hidden objects that we had out there? I bet you found most of them, if not all of them. So we wanted to take a minute and just like go through each of the hidden objects, and you can check off and see if you found them all. So the mallard duck. I know we saw real mallard ducks, but did you see this mallard duck? So Mr. Mallard was sitting near me when I was sitting on the chair or the bench, and he was down in the bushes off to the side. So this is a taxidermy duck. So I don't know if you know what that means, but so this was a real duck at one point. It was alive and it passed away. We don't know how it died. And someone who is a taxidermist took the duck and preserved it so that, and stuffed it so that we can use it as a teaching tool. So that's our Mr. Mallard duck. How about the dinosaur? Did you find the dinosaur? This one was maybe a little bit hard to find. This is a T-Rex, of course. And this was hidden when I was talking a little bit about the coastal redwood tree. I was sitting on a stump, and down near my feet there were some ferns, and this guy was hiding in the ferns. And the reason I put the T-Rex in the ferns is that so I have two little boys, and when my son Sam was 5, he loved dinosaurs, and that was like all we talked about for a year was dinosaurs. And we learned a lot about not just dinosaurs, but what the earth looked like at the time of dinosaurs. And we learned that ferns were around when dinosaurs were around. So every time when we go hiking around this area and we see ferns, I always think of dinosaurs. So next time, hopefully when you see a fern, you'll also think of a dinosaur. Right.
Right. So you may have seen the canoe floating in the macroinvertebrate tray when we were doing some dip netting. Doesn't float so good, and maybe those damselfly nymphs looked like monsters if you were the size of a canoe, but that's where it was. I'm sure it was quite easy to see, hopefully. And like Mr. Mallard duck, our beaver is also taxidermied, and if you noticed across the water from the listening station, the beaver was sitting there quietly as well, enjoying me as much as I was enjoying him. And yeah, hopefully it was fun for you all to try to find the neat things that we stored away.
Yeah. And here's the thing, you can come to the Environmental Learning Center. It is open to the public. It is free to come here. And there may not be a taxidermied duck or a taxidermied beaver out there, but there is real wildlife out here. And every time I come, I see something new. You might see hummingbirds or woodpeckers. If you come in the springtime in the evening, you'll hear frogs calling. So it's just a beautiful place to come and visit all time of the year. So thanks for joining us on the virtual field trip, and we hope to see you in person real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.